crew is gathering. Would you like to join us for game night? Game night. Game night.
F***ing pronoun!
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Hate this. I fucking hate live service, bro. This is why I feel like I'm losing my interest in gaming, because it's literally coming down to, if we don't get people literally fucking drug addict addicted to this game, then we're not fucking making it. Then we're not supporting it. This has to be drugs, bro.
Oh! Did somebody say meth?
Fuck your live service and fuck this shit, because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Like, this is what's ruining gaming. I'm tired of it. Every time I boot up my PlayStation, the top 10 most played games, Fortnite, Call of Duty, FIFA. Like, get the out of my face with that shit.
Get that card out of my face!
Yeah, I am pissed. I am pissed. And how sad is it that I'm literally out here, I'm raging about live. It's like we've elevated to another status here where it's not even, I'm not even bitching about live service. I'm bitching about live service games not even being good enough to be released. Like, what in the actual is going on in this gaming industry, bro? This is the that makes me jaded. This is why I'm jaded. This is why I'm pissed off. This is not what, like, I did not expect this. I can't help it. I'm trying so hard to walk the path of peace, man.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, you have to admit, she is rather mannish.
I have the most thankless job. Oh my god. These state of plays are legal torture. I simply do not get paid enough to sit there and have to watch this crap. But I have been consistent in attending all of them just so I can see if PlayStation will put out something I'm gonna buy. And let me tell you, thus far that has got to be the most woke and DEI as showcase they've done thus far.
Well, what's there to say? It's not my first or my last.
I could have been doing anything else in the world, but instead there I was at 3 p.m. on a goddamn Thursday, watching PlayStation deliver absolutely nothing. It makes you wonder, what the hell was Mighty Keith watching? Because check this out. I am Mighty Keith!
Sony has way more things cooking than I thought they did. Also, Silent Hill 2 a PlayStation exclusive?
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next products.
Keith, come here. Come here. Here. Yeah. You don't want to come here? I'm going to pull you by your dreadlocks. Get over here. Look at that little nigga getting his ass beat. What the hell's wrong with you? I expected better, even out of you, Keith. That show was utter trash. Sony cooking what, air? Dreamcast guy steaks? Meth? Either way, there was no cooking here. Sony barely managed to even heat up the pan.
That's a woman?
I don't know what the Mighty Keith was watching, but if he's asking if that abomination mid-ass looking remake of Silent Hill 2 is a PlayStation exclusive, I got news for you. No, it's not. It's on PC day one. Stop using the word exclusive to describe PlayStation games. Their games are not exclusive. Exclusivity is dead on that console. We know everything is coming to PC. Xbox and PlayStation do not have exclusives. Stop calling them that. And either way, why would you want this clearly DEI as remake of Silent Hills 2 to be a PlayStation exclusive? It would bring great shame to the console. Look at this bitch. What the hell did they do? She looks like goddamn melted ice cream, and she's got fuzzy caterpillars for eyebrows. This is the worst looking birthing person I have ever seen.
You wanna eat cake off my ass?
And overall, Silent Hill 2 just looks way too welcoming and friendly in comparison to the original. I'm sorry, but horror games peaked during the PS2 era. Games were simply a lot scarier when they were designed for CRT TVs. Now, horror games are just too bright, too friendly looking, And they gotta give all the characters big googly eyes to showcase their emotions and how scared and frightened they are, and nobody is impressed, okay? Everybody's roasting that game in the comment section. It's getting ratioed into oblivion, and they told us it was gonna be on PC day one within the same goddamn trailer. Do any of these ponies like Mighty Keith actually pay attention to their own shows? Anyway, let's just walk down how abysmal this was. From beginning to end, a complete waste of time, except for maybe two things. PlayStation, for some reason, decided to let Concord take up the biggest spot at this show, which I guess would have been fine if half of that wasn't a dedicated CGI trailer and the other half was some atrocious DEI woke looking ass gameplay. Nobody throughout the entire presentation of Concord was begging for more footage. Everybody wanted Sony to end it. Move on to the next game, please. There's nothing special to say. It's another Overwatch / Paladins clone that's been hit with the ESG wand. I mean, they have a robot with pronouns that's gay. A gay robot. Why? ESG, DEI bullshit aside, I mean, the game clearly has problems that go far beyond just that. It's another reskinned hero shooter that nobody really asked for. I mean, yes, the push for gas titles from PlayStation, you know, games as a service, isn't inherently a bad thing, but this is not it.
Twitter X, is that real? The hate peeps are pouring on this is insane. I have a very large gaming circle outside of Twitter. And everyone feels this has potential. F***ing crazy.
I want you to have it.
I don't really want this.
40-plus-year-old man really wants everybody here to believe he has a very large gaming circle. Yeah, my ass. This is the same attitude fans gave Sony for Foam Stars. You are the only PlayStation fanboy on Twitter I was able to see actually capping for this game. That's sad. Your other hooved brethren at the stables are not agreeing with you. This game would have had potential if it was the first of its kind, but since it's basically like the 1000th of its kind, ain't nobody going to give two shits. Everyone's gonna stay on Helldivers. This game will be dead on arrival, just like Foam Stars, and nobody will ever remember it existed. The only time it will ever be brought up is in reference to how low the player count is. It looks like trash, you have taste, and personally, I would take this tweet down. Someone your age shouldn't be caught hyping this thing up. This isn't for your generation. Stop trying to fit in with them, old man.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Okay, well, then the next thing we got was the God of War Ragnarok PC port, which isn't a surprise to anyone, not me. We all saw it coming from a mile away. No one is surprised, except for the fact that now apparently PlayStation is requiring you to have a PSN account just to play God of War. That's correct.
I forgot to tell you.
Yeah. You need a PSN account to access this single player game. Sony never bent the knee, it would seem. Rather, they're reinforcing it. When it was a multiplayer game, it was understandable to a degree, but single player games? Clearly, Sony wants to inflate its PSN numbers, and they also want to be able to keep track of PC players, so I'm fully expecting them going forward to require it for every single PlayStation product, thus adding Sony to the very long, annoying list of gaming companies that require me to make an account with them that I don't purchase video games from. I don't like making EA accounts, I don't like making Ubisoft accounts, I don't like making Rockstar accounts, and I'm especially not going to do it for God of War. If this was Bloodborne, then yes, Sony, let's do business, but it's God of mid. I just got done playing Hellblade 2, a walking movie cinematic trailer thingy. I don't want to do it again. I'm skipping this one, but I think that basically like narrows it down to 4 or 5 PlayStation exclusives left. It's over. There are no exclusives for the console. Why on God's green earth would Herman Holst ever think putting this game on PC will make PC players go and buy a PS5 for the next God of War? If they can't even be bothered to make PSN accounts. These business decisions do not make any goddamn sense. But if Sony wants to region lock themselves and lose out on more sales, and make it more difficult to win over the PC crowd, then that's solely on them. You know where to find me, Sony, when you want to do things the right way. In the meantime, PlayStation fanboys can continue to hold on to that small-ass W of getting to play games 24 months earlier than PC players, like it makes any difference. At the end of the day, they will be playing games they know are really not exclusive at the end of the day, thus rendering their console as useless as the Xbox. A harsh reality the PlayStation crowd simply refuses to accept. But anybody still calling these games exclusive is basically just lying to themselves.
Exclusives.
Next, we did have something I was actually looking forward to. Dynasty Warriors Origins. I haven't touched one of these in a long time, and this does look impressive, so I would say this was the first W of the evening. Then after that, we got Open World RPG Infinity Nikki, which, I mean, I don't really have anything bad or good to say, other than the visuals are very impressive, and that's about it. I don't know. I'm pretty sure Kyle will love the shit out of this game. I feel indifferent about it. It's not really something I'm interested in playing, but it doesn't look like an L either. For all we know, it could be the next Pal World. You never know with these games. The next, we move on to Ballad of Antara, which also looked pretty decent. The visuals here are also very impressive. But then again, if there's anything I've learned about the gaming industry is 99% of the time it's all smoke and mirrors, and the final versions don't resemble this in the slightest. But even with that in mind, the dark fantasy setting does suit it very well. It has the type of combat I was expecting, but I'm not saying that like it's a bad thing. I may actually give this one a chance. It caught my eye yesterday, but it lost my attention just as quickly as it gained it. Because then we move on to 2 VR games for the PSVR that have very piss poor frame rate, especially the Alien one, which, holy shit, if that is the frame rate to expect in the final version, Sony's going to be in for a hefty lawsuit from all the motion sickness it's going to cause. I don't really have anything to say about these games. It's VR, cool, Sony's pushing it. Then next we move on to, oh god, Marvel's Rivals, a PvP shooter featuring Marvel Comics superheroes. Whoa, yay! Because the last superhero shooter totally worked out with Suicide Squad. This one has PvP elements, but it looks like trash. I mean, it doesn't look like it's worth anybody's time. And it's sad to say, but there's more Venom gameplay here than there was in Spider-Man 2. So, if you're looking to get your Venom fill because Insomniac let you down, I guess you have this piece of shit to look forward to. No release date, so nobody cares. We had enough Marvel-esque writing with Concord's trailer. We don't need to see more of it in Marvel's Rivals. Anybody excited for this is quite possibly autistic. Then we move on to Where Winds Meet, which I thought also looked decent. I'm not drooling over it. I doubt anybody is, but I'm just glad to see it's not another cat game out of 3. It's just another samurai game out of 3. Next, we move on to Until Dawn. And I mean, do you really need my opinion? Nobody gives 2 shits. Then next, we get a Path of Exile 2 trailer that doesn't belong here. PlayStation really couldn't fill in this slot with anything else. Nothing against Path of Exile. The franchise is excellent. The game looks fantastic, but why is it here? Then we move on to the very, very controversial Silent Hill 2 remake, which nobody seems to be happy about in the slightest. I will admit the game looks like it needs at least another year in the oven. They saw what Capcom pulled off with the Resident Evil 4 remake and thought to themselves, we can do that too. But the game's facial animations, character models, all of it, it just doesn't look right. On top of that, I feel like Konami picked the worst things to show about the game because IGN uploaded a Silent Hill 2 remake versus the original comparison, and there was better footage there that Konami could have shown. I don't think it would have made the situation any better, but I know how much people really love Silent Hill 2. So if the final product is a complete fuck up, there will be no forgiveness. Everybody has been trashing the shit out of the Mary Jane treatment they gave the female character. You already know how I feel about it. I can't wait to see what you guys have to say in the comment section. I mean, it's a complete disaster from what I'm looking at, but I had a similar attitude with Resident Evil 4 Remake when it was first shown off. For all we know, the final product could actually be good, but from what I'm seeing, it does not look like it at all. This game definitely deserves better, but sadly it looks like Konami simply gave it a last-gen overhaul and called it a day. We'll see how it turns out at release. Then we move on to what was easily the most impressive game throughout the entire state of play, and that's Monster Hunter Wilds. I love Monster Hunter, but it's been, what, about 4 or 5 years since I last touched the franchise. This one is looking like a significant leap. The new monsters, with their attack patterns and designs, are getting me to want to pick this one up. Not the negative to say, but again, this is a multi-plat, so who cares? If you're here for PlayStation titles and nothing else, this game just ate up another slot. No, I'm not trying to put down the game because it looks excellent, but this is a state of play. I think people are expecting primarily PlayStation-only titles, which don't exist, so. Anyway, finally the show ends off with a brand new Astro Bot game, which does admittedly look very good. Absolutely a game I would be proud to show off if I was PlayStation. The game will apparently have over 80 levels, so that is quite a significant leap from being a small tech demo on the PlayStation to a full-fledged game. We congratulate Astro. I got no slander, none. This looks good, but not good enough to save the show. By the time this came on, I was already pretty pissed off at how much of a waste of time all of it was. So I just couldn't enjoy Astro as much as I probably should have. No hate to this game. There's just nothing it could have done to make the show any better. I rate the entire thing a 3 out of 10. The show was so dull, so boring, such a waste of my time. I didn't even want to make a video on it. I just needed an excuse to show a bunch of fanboys even more annoyed at how bad it was. At the very least, we still have that June 9th showcase for Xbox, but I'm not gonna jinx it, so I'm gonna shut up about it. Finally, at long last, we're at the end of the video. I can go away now and forget about just how awful it was. So like, comment, share, and subscribe if you so choose to. That being said, I'll see you in the next one.
Fritongo sucks ass.